I'm not sure why Bilt has sent out a survey when I've already made it pretty clear what I would like to see in the Bilt 2.0 credit card. I even went as far as to make a whole fan video about it. Bilt, I've already created your roadmap, so why bother with a survey? Was my video a bit extra? Was the bit about the card glowing to reflect your current Bilt status too much? Just so you know, that's optional. Or was it that it dynamically displayed your current balance on the card? Again, that was optional. If you missed my epic fan video, which I think is a great watch, you may watch it here. I promise you won't be disappointed. It's both informative and entertaining. Of course, my video was a tall order, but the goal of the video was for Bilt to think outside the box and go big. But I have to say that the survey options which I'm about to reveal failed to capture my imagination. And that's coming from your biggest fan. And I'm not talking big fan. Folks, I'm a frequent user of the Bilt MasterCard when I travel internationally, and I hold Bilt Platinum status, which was pretty hard to achieve. And I've been consistently touting Bilt's value for the past couple years here on YouTube. So this survey has me feeling some kind of way. However, I'll play ball and submit it, but I have to make this video because the results alone don't capture my sentiment and overall impression. By the way, Bilt, what kind of survey is this where you fail to include text boxes for us to state why we've chosen what we've chosen? It's like you care, but you don't care at the same time. At the very least, there should have been a wrap-up text box for overall commentary if you truly wanted to understand what the 15% of us card holders think. So this video is for you, Bilt, and my tens of thousands of subscribers. They're out there, they just don't know about me yet.
Here we go.
For those new to the channel, I'm Richard Debs from RSquared Travel Rewards, and I'm an avid traveler. If you're watching this, you likely are too, but more importantly, you're curious what I think of the Bilt survey. I'm about to keep it real, so go ahead and subscribe to see how I use credit cards to enable this travel habit of mine. Hit me up in the chat section of my website, boomacompany.com, if you have any questions or comments which you wish to share privately. So I've already gone through the survey so that I can make sure that I set this up for you. So the structure is a few setup questions, and then Bilt presents us with 3 card tiers. Tier 1 is a $0 annual fee card. Tier 2 is a $95 annual fee card, and Tier 3 is a $550 annual fee premium card. Within each tier, we're presented with 2 options, and we have to pick one. And then at the very end, out of all the options we've selected, we have to pick our overall card. And then the survey wraps up with a couple questions regarding features and rewards. And then I'm going to close out the video by letting you know exactly what I think of this survey, and based on these questions, who I think Bilt is targeting as their customer. And as you've seen in my last video, it's all about target audience. We don't get mad here, we just analyze and make a decision if we are the target audience. So let's jump into this survey. So our first question is Bilt your primary credit card for everyday spending? So this might seem like a simple question, but to me, I interpret this as Bilt trying to create a credit card which captures everyday spend. And you know, I'm in the game and I use strategies. So I don't use one credit card for everything. I have 25 active credit cards as we speak. That might be on the extreme side, but as I said, I'm in the game. So this question has me wondering, am I the target audience? So the answer is a resounding no. So let's move on. So the next question, they want us to select a card which we use for everyday spend. So what I find curious about this list is that the American Express Platinum, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and the Venture X are included. So I don't know if Bilt is trying to position themselves as an elite card, but those 3 cards specifically are not everyday spend cards. So as you know, I run a system called the City Magnificent 5, which features 3 City Custom Cash cards, but I'm actually running 4 City Custom Cash cards at the moment. So I'm gonna select No Fee Rewards card because I'm running 4 City Custom Cash cards. So why do I use this card instead of the Bilt card? And it's because it's best in class multipliers in everyday categories. So we finished the setup questions, and now we're going into the 3 credit card tiers. And first up is the $0 annual fee tier. So what should be immediately obvious here is that mortgage is now included. So bravo Bilt. However, I've got a problem with this. I currently derive a lot of value on the 3x dining multiplier on the current card. So when I look at option B, the everyday categories are at 2x. And I have other cards that do significantly better. So this 2x category does not work for me. But do you know who this card works for as I think about target audience? That college student who lives off campus. They get a $0 annual fee card and they can pay for rent, gas, groceries, and dining. It's perfect for that persona. But again, not for me. So when I look at option A, guys, that's just a rent card. When we're talking about Bilt neighborhood dining, Walgreens, and Lyft, those are niche categories. So I would pick this card and it would just be my rent card. But what comes with option A is significantly fewer transactions on a monthly basis. Because I'm just going to use the card to pay rent, and I'll use the 1.5x category for my other 4 transactions required each billing cycle. So if I choose this card, then the Bilt MasterCard is no longer valuable to me. As it stands today, I put a lot of spend on the dining category, but that will stop with this card. So I will pick option A because I'm not a college student, which option B is clearly for. But in my mind, Bilt would no longer be valuable for me if this is the option I have. Guys, there's no travel. No travel. This $0 card would no longer be a travel card for me. So let's pick option A and move on because we have to select. Now we're on to tier 2, which is a $95 annual fee card. So right off the bat, guys, this tier 2 is very confusing to me. I have no idea who the target audience is for either of these 2 options. Immediately, option B looks to be very close to the current Bilt MasterCard. Sure, Bilt Dining is up to 5x now, but again, it's still niche. So if I were to use option B, I would use the card exactly as I use it today, but now it would cost me $95. And I'd be forced to claim credits just to get it back to being a free card. So let's look at the credits. The only credit which I would look to use is the Walgreens credit, which is a slam dunk for me, and the Bilt Hotel credit. But I'm not a fan of using a portal to book a hotel just to save $50. I like to book hotels using the hotel sites directly because I'm a member of those hotels. So again, if I were to use option B, I would use it exactly as I'm using it today. So option B is not an elevation of the current card. So let's move our attention to option A. I immediately dismiss the 2x category because I have other cards that give me better multipliers. And hotels at 5x is very confusing to me. I'm mystified by this option. I'm perplexed as to why these 2 cards are the options. Is this tier supposed to be competing against the Chase Sapphire Preferred? So for the record, I would not remotely consider selecting any of these options, but since I have to select one, I'll select option B because it brings me back to how I use the credit card today, but at a cost of $95. Now we have tier 3, which is the premium category, with the card costing $550. All right, so when we're talking about a $550 card, now we're competing with the Venture X, the Sapphire Reserve, and the Amex Platinum. Guys, look at these 2 options. What glaring feature is missing? So I repeat, it's competing against the Venture X, the Sapphire Reserve, and the Amex Platinum card. There's no global entry or TSA pre-check. If I'm gonna pay $550 for a premium travel card, it needs to come with premium travel benefits, of which TSA pre-check and global entry is required. I've said it before in my videos, I travel a lot and it would drain me if I had to stand in line for 2 hours in security. So Priority Pass is good, but I can't get to a Priority Pass lounge if I'm stuck in security. So yes, we have rent and mortgage, but if you're playing in the premium travel card space, it's a glaring omission. However, we have to choose. So right off the bat, I'm not interested in any of the 2x categories because I have other cards that give me better multipliers. In option A, the 4x for booking flights directly is attractive. And in option B, the only thing that's attractive over option A is a 1.25x on rent and mortgage, but you're gonna have a big mortgage or rent for that to be substantial. And if I look at the credits for both options, the $200 travel hotel credit is not bad. But come on guys, $120 Bilt fitness credit? That's so niche. You gotta live in a big city and be into that kind of thing. I know I can use the Walgreens credit, but many people won't use that. But regardless, it's a $550 card and the total credits that you can redeem are $380. So even if you could use all the credits, there's still a gap. And I know that I won't even come close to that. All right, So let's pause and let's talk about the elephant in the room. One of the value propositions of the Bilt card is that it was going to supercharge the Bilt Rewards program, meaning that it will help you elevate your status. So what leaves me slightly confused in all three tiers presented is the decoupling conversation of the Bilt MasterCard from the Bilt Rewards program. So this Bilt Premium card, either option, does not stack up against its peers, the Venture X, the Sapphire Reserve, and the Amex Platinum. And Bilt has to know that. So to present these cards as is, Bilt needed to present the impact of these cards on Bilt status. Because again, they don't stack up at the premium level. So I am utterly confused. If you're gonna pay $550 for this premium card, it should come with Bilt Premium status. In my fan video, I called it Paid Elite status. So that's what I'm calling out here. Paying $95 for a card should get me Bilt Gold status. And paying $550 for a card should get me Bilt Platinum status. Because that would continue to signal to card holders that Bilt status matters. So again, I'm confused why we're completing this survey and there's no mention of how these cards impact Bilt status. So again, we have to make a choice. I'm gonna go with option A because of the direct flight bookings Forex category. So finally, here's our overall selection. What would have been interesting is if Bilt presented the opportunity for us to select 3 cards. A Bilt ecosystem of cards. There's the old school City trifecta, there's a Chase trifecta, there's the Capital One duo, and the American Express trifecta, because it's really difficult to have one card to rule them all. We all want to be a part of an ecosystem. So I'm gonna go from right to left. The premium card is a bad premium card when compared to its peers. For the middle option, I would use this card exactly as I use it today, but I have to pay $95 to do that. So that would leave me with option A, which I would select, but that would just be a rent card, meaning that Bilt would see fewer transactions from me. So let's select option A. So let's wrap up the survey with 2 quick questions. Reward categories that matter to me. I'm gonna select travel rewards and grocery rewards. And our final question are the 2 card benefits which matter to me. You've watched enough of my videos. I care about status. Status matters. So I'm gonna select airline status boost and hotel status boost. So remember when I said earlier that they had omitted a text box to capture my overall commentary because they don't know why I made certain selections. And as you saw, I didn't like any of these options. So what they should have done is add a comment box so that we could explain our selections. They don't even need to read it, but at least it would signal to us that they care about what we think. So in conclusion of my final thoughts on this survey and where I think Bilt might be heading, it seems clear to me that they're looking for a single card to be an everyday card. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a huge opportunity for Bilt to be a disruptor and differentiate themselves from other card issuers. There are many cards that can be used as everyday cards. It's not clear to me from this survey if Bilt wants to play in the premium card space or the free card space. And as I said in my Bilt video, Bilt should allow us to opt in to all 3 tiers and couple that with Bilt status. So unless you're gonna present a robust card that can stand on its own, I don't see how we can have the conversation of what's presented here and not talk about Bilt status. So here's a message to Bilt. I know that you've made it clear that none of these options are final, but they're really giving mixed messages so far. And my feedback is that none of these options represent a true elevation of the current card. There's lots of machinations and permutations of the different multipliers, and it might look like an elevation of the current card, but it's not. Except for tier 1, I don't know who the target audience is. Tier 1 option A is just a rent card, and tier 1 option B is for a newbie to credit or that college student living off campus. So Bilt, you got a lot of work to do. Give me a call. So viewers, let me know what you think of my choices and let me know what your choices would have been. Thanks for watching until the end. Since you've gotten this far, it only makes sense to like, share, subscribe to this channel, and become a member to help give it some visibility. As always, take care and be good to each other.
Here we go.